We're back. Not Annie. Look at me, man. I'm so used to Media Marcus in the building. Episode 293, 2025. Going to kind of be talking about the trending topics of today. And we have a couple of special guests with me. Some of my friends going to continue to join me throughout this journey and this platform. We're going to have a lot of good stuff. There's a ton in the news. We're going to kind of maybe condense this show a little bit. It's 10:30 at night on the East Coast. But yeah, a lot of things to talk about. I am here, Media Market, second day in a row, second show. And let me bring in some friends. Got my guy Chucky B in the building. Chuck, what up?
What up? What up? What up? You need me on camera because I can set up. But I ain't know.
Yeah. If you can set up for me.
All right, I got you. Give me like 5 seconds. I'm gonna set up.
Absolutely. Take your time. And my guy Mike Curry joining me for the second day in a row. Media Market Stream. What up, Mike Curry?
Yes, sir. We technically 3 for 3 if you include the pilot, man. But yeah, I'm here, man. I'm here with it, man. Shout out to you because you got me up past my bedtime, but I was still up. So I was like, man, let me run up, man. Let me pull up.
There it is. We're gonna get right into it, and appreciate you boys for stopping through. I'm going to go over a few things today. I mean, I wasn't too much in the news, and some things I could save for tomorrow. We know football starts tomorrow. NFL, let's make some noise.
Yes,
so excited about that. Put a bet in earlier, but the odds went crazy after I put it in, so I couldn't give it out everywhere. But if you did get it, shout out to that. But yeah, let's get right into it, Chuck. I'm coming to you first, man. Your boy, Pablo Torre, is at it again. This man, listen, this is the first thing I saw today. Calling out, or not calling out, but anytime at this point, Pablo Torre comes calling or knocking, they shook. This shook ones out here. But Pablo, he came out today. Let me look at the actual report. It says exclusive Kawhi Leonard signed a $28 million endorsement deal for, quote, no-show job, end quote, with a fraudulent tree planting company funded by $50 million from Clippers owner Steve Ballmer, according to documents obtained by Pablo Torre. Once again, man, if Pablo Torre comes calling, you know you in something these days. Yeah, Kawhi Leonard, like, money off the books. I mean, Kawhi is my guy. He's always been my guy. 2-time champion. Played with my I call him my father with a V. Tim Duncan right there behind me. 2-time Finals MVP. And kind of a calm guy, right? I think our birthdays are 7 days apart. I love Kawhi. But this is messy. This is I don't know if it's messy for him. Maybe more Steve Ballmer. It is the Clippers. Some Clippers shit too. When I heard it, I was like, that's some Clippers shit. So, Chuck, what are your thoughts about Kawhi Leonard specifically? $28 million off the books reported.
I think it's interesting that we're making a big deal of this because I feel as though when he was signed, that was some of the conversation that his uncle or his management were trying to get involved in things, whether it was ownership. I think there was reports that he wanted ownership with the Raptors. There was other reports that he wanted other deals with other teams. I'm a Lakers fan. There was even reports that the Lakers Jeannie Buss turned him down because she said that there were some illegal activities, maybe part of his management. So for me, I think it's interesting that 6 years later, after he's been with this team, he's read up. He's been there for a while. Like Kawhi, to me, like he's the way LeBron has been on a few different teams, but has been there long enough that like he has like legitimate different eras. Kawhi has the same thing. So to me, it's just funny that this is now coming out at this point. And to me, the story is more about Pablo. Like I know, like I know Pablo personally, so it might be a little biased, but I think the story is more about just the work he's doing in the air in like his realm and how good he's been, more so than Kawhi. Because I think the Kawhi aspect, to be frank, doesn't really hit that hard because we kind of knew some of this to an extent. We didn't have the details, but we knew some of this.
Yeah, shout out to the boy Pablo, man. That's good journalism. We come from the journalism school, so listen, hey, doing his due diligence, doing his homework, and And shout out to Kawhi. Man, listen, man. If I can pocket 28 M's off the record under the table, let me get it under the table, baby. Let's get it.
Can I say
Mike
one
Curry,
thing?
what are your thoughts on Kawhi reportedly having $28 million off the books?
Chuck, go ahead. I don't want you to forget your thought. Go ahead, bro.
No, I just want to say one thing. It's very interesting that like how people view things, because this is basically circumventing the salary cap or collective bargaining agreement. And in another sport, people were like up in arms at Jerry Jones for potentially doing. So it's just very interesting to me that like all of this is it's all nonsense. Like, don't ever let anyone tell you that it's all nonsense.
Yeah,
it's all nonsense, Chuck. All right, Mike, what you got?
I'm not gonna lie, bro. I wasn't surprised. I wasn't surprised because, because first of all, Kawhi turned down joining AD and LeBron. Now that could be for various reasons. Maybe you don't want to play with LeBron. The circus that exists, playing with LeBron, et cetera, et cetera. But like as Chuck just mentioned, the Jeannie Buss thing. Jeannie Buss was like, nah, like the Lakers got a reputation. And obviously it depends on when you grew up. Like, if you're my dad's age, the Lakers historic franchise, if you grew up, like if you were born, let's say if you were born maybe 15, maybe you were born 15 years ago and you kind of grew up and the Lakers were trash, Kobe on his way out, Lakers were trash at one point. It's all about perception, but like, I'm not surprised that any shady business exists with the Clippers. We all know about the Donald Sterling stuff. Like, yeah. You can't get all the stains out, bro. Like, you can't get all the stains out, man. It's still, a mess that exists with the Clippers. And like I said, I'm not surprised because it was already these rumors coming out that Kawhi wanted, a piece of this and, extra preferential treatment, obviously, on top of the low management stuff. Like, I'm not surprised, bro. Like, for real, like, I'm not surprised, bro. Clippers a janky organization, bro. They always will be in my eyes, bro. But yeah, man, super janky stuff, bro. But shout out Pablo, like y'all said, man. Shout out Pablo, like he did his homework, bro. But I'm not surprised though.
Yeah, the Clippers definitely give super janky. So shout out to that, man. Shout out to the but yeah, that's the Kawhi news, and I don't, I feel like Kawhi just dropping a bucket, just another day being Kawhi. Like, what is this? They're not gonna do nothing to me. So I love that about Kawhi. Next though, guys, I want to talk about Angel Reese. Angel Reese was all in the headlines today, and it started with Angel Reese. If you don't know, she will be making her acting debut in a House of Dynamite. So she joined the cast of that, which will be coming out on Netflix in the near future. So kudos to Angel Reese, hometown girl, she's from Baltimore, but played at the University of Maryland before going to LSU. And we all stick together. So shout out to Angel Reese on that, right? Like, I can appreciate that. But she also, Angel Reese is who I'm talking about here, received what number technical foul today? Let me see.
I think it was number 8.
8, yeah, 8 technical fouls. That's why I love Mike Curry. He always knows. Mike Curry knows if you don't know. But Angel Reese accessed her 8th technical foul of the season. She will be suspended for Friday's game versus the Fever unless it's rescinded. And then she has some comments as well. Maybe they kind of pointed to her possibly getting out of Chicago. I'll find those quotes. But Mike, what do you think about Angel Reese's day today?
It threw me off because was this like a public? I seen the quotes, but this was like a public. Was it like to the media? Like, was it doing an interview? Like, I thought it was kind of crazy. I mean, I feel her. Like, I do agree with her, but like, it's just about the timing of everything. Like, I just think it's kind of wild because you're not even in a way, but you're throwing your current teammates under the bus. You're rubbing people the wrong way, and the season is almost over, but it's not quite over just yet. So like, maybe she would have said this stuff when the season ended. Now, okay, cool. You might not see some of these ladies back next year. Obviously with the expansion and stuff like that. So, and free agency and all that good stuff. But definitely thought the comments was, I feel her, but I thought the comments was kind of wild. But I did want to say shout out Chuck, man, because me, Chuck, Miles, and James, man, we got our own chat. I'm gonna just say women's basketball chat. I'm gonna just say it's that. But we do got our own chat, man. So I actually sent the quotes.
Yes, I'm about to say y'all had me on the perfect day because I'm up to speed on this.
Our chat was a little dead for a couple weeks, but I sent the quotes in there earlier.
Yeah, I mean, I'll read the actual quote. I got it here from Front Office Sports. The quote. So this is a quote from Angel Reese to the Chicago Tribune. Quote, I'd like to be here for my career, but if things don't pan out, obviously I might have to move on in a different direction and do what's best for me, end quote. And then she has another part of the quote that says, but why I'm here, I'm trying to stay open-minded about what I have here and maximize that as much as I can, end quote. So Chuck, what are your thoughts on Angel Reese's day today?
I think I hate to. I'm not probably gonna sound like a hater, but I think her today encompasses the Angel Reese experience. She had an amazing thing off the court, with the being casted in the series, the TV series, and all on the court. There's I don't know what's going on. So Angel Reese is playing much better than she did last year. That's a fact. Her team might be just as bad, if not worse. What does that say? I don't know. Um, she's polarized. She's just as polarizing as she was last year. She might be more. What does that say? Like, I don't really know how to gauge with Angel Reese because her stardom is through the roof. Like, she's a superstar. But on the basketball court, like I can think of like 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 players that in the WNBA who are legitimately like should be worth our time talking about. But we're not going to talk about them because they don't got motion like her. So like she's such an interesting just person because why we should know her isn't really why we do know her. And just to focus on the comments themselves, I think Mike Cray hit on the head. Like, you could say these things. She's not wrong, but you don't say these now. And especially you don't call out Vandersloot. Like, that was everything she said, I think, was fine. Instead of, you don't put a name to Vandersloot. Vandersloot, no matter what you think of her, she's a Chicago Sky legend. She's won a championship with them. She's done many of things with them, things that you haven't done. So, listen, if she would have said a few other names, I would have been like, cool. But to say that name in particular, that rubbed me. Everything else, I think she was fine, but that rubbed me in particular the wrong way.
Yeah, I think I think you guys both hit it right on the head. And Chuck, you just said this is the full Angel Reese experience. Like all like just news here, news there, news, everywhere. And I was like, wow, this is, but shout out to Angel Reese. Anton, you wanna step in here? How you doing, Anton? What's going on, brother? How you doing?
Gucci, man.
Make some noise for Anton, baby.
Yo, I'm in here.
You in here, man. We were just talking about Angel Reese. She had a full day today.
Okay.
Quotes that maybe she's leaving Chicago, trying to get to a new team. She's going to star in or she's not going to star in, but she's a part of, join the cast for Netflix. What is it? Netflix show. And then what else? What else happened with? Oh, also her 8th technical foul, and she's facing suspension in Friday's game. So that was her day today. Shout out to Angel Reese.
Crazy day.
What a day. September 3rd, 2025, we here. But we moving on. And Anton, I actually, did you see Superman? Anton, the first one that just came out?
I haven't, bro. I'm so sorry. I haven't.
Yeah. No, so I haven't seen it. Mike, have you seen it? Chuck, have you seen it?
No, I haven't.
I gotta be honest, I haven't either. But I've heard amazing things. I heard this is because I'm not a Superman guy.
Yeah, I was gonna say honest, it was good.
I heard it was great. Like, I'm more of a Batman guy, you know what I mean? Dark Knight, that's more my vibe. But yeah, like I heard this Superman was great. I was supposed to go see it, it didn't happen. But it's been announced James Gunn, who's the director of the movie, or is he the director? But James Gunn, his Superman sequel, Man of Tomorrow is the name of it, set for July 2027 release. That was by Variety today, released that. And I guess we don't have too much to talk about because I didn't see the first one, but I will see it soon. And I'll follow up here. And when we get the trailer, we'll be ready to go to see that second one and give some feedback on that. But no, kudos. I've heard amazing things. Oh, yeah, go ahead, Chuck.
Keanu Reeves' son makes a cameo in the new one.
Does he? Keanu Reeves' son?
Yeah, so Keanu Reeves' son works for GMA, Good Morning America, ABC, and he's a host, and he makes a cameo in the new Superman as a news anchor. It's a very great little crossover. I haven't seen the movie, but like I've seen a lot of reviews, and like the dog is a very big thing in the movie. Like there's a lot of I would actually go see it together. Let's go see it together, P.
All right, we could definitely do that. I'm with that. I'm with that. All right, so that is that. That is some film news. So you see how interesting segues. Just Angel Reese, not sports, but she got in her acting bag, and now we move to a movie, and now we're going to keep it in the stars. Burglars break into Tracy Ellis Ross's house, stealing more than $100,000 of jewelry and handbags. We obviously don't want to see that. I'm a big fan of Tracy Ellis Ross myself. Blackish, one of my favorite sitcoms, but this has been happening a lot for celebs, right? I remember Joe Burrow doing a Netflix doc. That's when he had his house robbed or broken into. And I think this happened to a number of other people, celebrities specifically, but they kind of know these celebs' schedule, right? And Tracy Ellis Ross recently just came out second season for her show on, I think it's Tubi. I think the show's on Tubi, but she's traveling. It's a traveling show. And you got these NBA players and these NFL players that their schedule. When right now, I know the Kansas City Chiefs are in Brazil, right? I know the LA Chargers are in Brazil. So, like,
easy target.
this has been happening for a while now. And I'm just, obviously, I can't be in other people's pockets. Maybe you can't pay for 24-hour protection of your home, especially when you're not there. But this is a thing. Fat Man, I want to start with you. I mean, what are your thoughts? You hear about that? It's been a few other celebs as well. I just don't remember right now. But what are your thoughts?
I think it's crazy, man. People trying to make a living. Granted, they are celebrities. They're in a public spotlight. So, like you said, their schedule is pretty much like publicized, where it's everyone can basically know where they're going to be. I think it sucks though, the fact that Tracy Ellis Ross, she's done so much for the community and stuff, and to have to go through that it really sucks. Not right at all.
Yeah, not right at all. Chuck, what are you thinking about when you hear this and just the overall scheme? The NFL sent out an investigation of like, yo, make sure y'all protect yourselves and you're at home, have security. That was like last year, I believe.
Yeah, no, see, I hate to be this guy, but rich people, it's hard for me to really be like, oh, rich people, like unless they really get hurt, like you lost some stuff. I kind of feel bad. Like I don't like to see people get stolen from, but I'm always because you remember this happened to Kim K in like Paris or something, like she got robbed and I don't really know what the end because at first they were like it was a scheme, then it was like it wasn't a scheme, then it was so I'm always willing to let these things play out a little bit. Like, let me find out. Let me make sure there's not an insurance scam first. Like,
Right.
let me make sure that everything is on the up and up. Like, you really just got robbed because it sounds a little too good to be true for me.
That's definitely a true truth to it. I didn't even think of that, but definitely a truth.
I'm just like, and this is my thing. I don't even think that this is something Tracy Ellis Ross would do, but like, who knows if she told somebody like to house sit. And who
Yeah.
knows what type of shit they are. Like, that's the thing. Like, there's always a little bit more to some of these than just, hey, like, I feel like, no disrespect to Joe Burrow, but everything I heard from that story, his assistant didn't seem to be too smart. She seemed to be very much so, like, helping lead burglars to them. Like,
Wow.
not saying that she was the one, but, like, when I read some of those reports, I was like, yeah, I wouldn't have done that if I was you. So I
Crazy.
always like to hear fully some of these stories before I just go like, yeah, like the world is so bad. We need to like, yeah. Let me hear a little bit of
Investigative cat, real journalist. Let's make some noise. Yeah, you gotta find out everything. You gotta find out everything. Mike Curry, what are your thoughts when you hear about this and the others as well?
I had a real interesting take. I'm not gonna lie. It made me think a little differently. I'm like, but I mean, obviously, if all jokes aside, like if any of that stuff, like, let's say none of it was fraudulent or anything like that, it is disturbing to have, your safe space, invaded. Like that's definitely disturbing, and it makes you think differently. You got to plan differently when you probably feel like you shouldn't necessarily have to. Like that's the place, in a busy industry, and as like you're working hard and you're doing all this stuff. Like your home is your safe space. So like if everything does check out, that's unfortunate, definitely disturbing.
Absolutely, absolutely. A couple, I think really just one more thing I'm gonna touch with you guys about, but quickly, I guess we can just maybe a sentence or two each on just your thoughts on these two reports. But Scott Hansen was with the on the Pat McAfee show today, and he said there will obviously ESPN kind of took over for the NFL Red Zone. He said there will be commercials in some capacity this season. Just made my heart melt. But
Oh boy.
I definitely wanted to hear from Mike on that one. And Amazon is no longer allowing Prime sharing. It's a lot of things going on in the economy, but I guess they're not shipping to that other address with that other person under your account anymore. That's not happening. They're not rocking. So I think Chuck's been anti-Amazon since like pre-pandemic. But I just want to know quick thoughts on that. Amazon no longer allowing Prime sharing, kind of just reflects on where we are in the economy, I believe. And then Scott Hansen commercials. Ugh.
Yeah,
Mike, what do you think?
for me, that definitely sucks, man. Like because when you think of Red Zone, you think of 7 hours of commercial-free football. Like that's the first thing you think of. And now it's like, I understand money talks, and obviously ESPN has a lot of it. So I can't really deny that or disagree with it, because at the end of the day, that's what rules. That's what makes the world go around. So it sucks, but and I'm gonna definitely miss it. But I could also go and look back and say, I'm grateful for, NFL Red Zone when it did come out. I'm grateful to know what it was before this deal. You know what I'm saying? So that's a good way to look at it, and be optimistic. But at the end of the day, money talks. And then as far as the Amazon thing, money talks once again. They want more of our money. So it sucks. But at least back to NFL Red Zone, at least we know what it was before, it even became, popular. Kids growing up today, they're not gonna know that. They're just gonna know it's on ESPN and there's commercials now. Like they're not gonna think twice about it. But we will. Like we gonna always look like, damn, like I miss it. Like, but yeah.
Yeah, RIP to the original Red Zone. Chuck, I'm gonna ask you just about Amazon Prime, nothing else. So let me know what your thoughts on Amazon.
The corporate overlords have won again. Like once again, I think that's the biggest issue. I don't use Amazon Prime per se. Like my wife has it and she be on it. But my biggest thing is that Amazon, I might strict some. It's not a necessity. Like there's other places that you could use to go get stuff. You might not get it in 24 hours or less than 24 hours, but you can get stuff. And sometimes we need to stop being so lazy. Like if you plan a day or two ahead, you can get something and you don't need that 24-hour turnaround. So Amazon, just like I said, it's just corporate overlords just doing what they do best. And the thing is that we're so lazy that instead of being like, God, that's fucked up, we're just gonna be like, well, you should go get your own Amazon. If it, it's just like it's a crazy way of thinking, and I hate it here. I really do.
Yeah, that's true. All right, Anton, how many people you got on your account right now? Tell the truth.
Oh man, you already know. I got mom, grandma. I think I got one of my cousins on there, wife, kids getting older, so they got the Amazon kids on there. It'd be so many random like subscriptions coming off the account, just random charges.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? So on top of that, I guess the business side of me is like, hey, you gotta do what you gotta do. You gotta protect the bottom line. And I get it. Um, and I'm the complete opposite of Chuck. My wife doesn't use Amazon, but I use Amazon. So I am the lazy person. I love the next day shopping. I love like if I buy something that's there in the morning, I'll pay the extra. Like I'm part of the problem essentially. So hey, I get the necessity of not being able to share, and for them to be able to recoup those extra fees. Because think about how much money they essentially are going to make off of this. You know what I mean? Like alone, I probably have 8 people. So yeah, endless money right there that they're about to make.
Yeah, money makers. So now Amazon, they'll still be at the top. Like,
Yeah.
we know it is. All right, last thing before I get you guys out of here. This will be about a 30-minute episode. I appreciate you guys. Well, this is the last topic. I'm gonna leave. We're gonna leave on a very high note though. But this is the last topic. 4 years ago. So 2001, September 3rd, 2001. Nobody knows what I'm about to talk about. Yeah, I love just looking at you guys' eyes. I didn't tell Mike Curry about it. But Certified Lover Boy Drake, he was dropped. It dropped 4 years ago today. One of my favorite
4
Drake
years?
projects, personally. I just want to know you guys' overall thoughts then and now looking back at it. Chuck, I'm gonna start with you. Just kind of how you looked at it then. The cover when it came out, I remember that was kind of like a topic, and just now reflecting on the album because I love it.
Yeah, I think looking back at it, I think it has a way different there's a different perspective because certified lover boy, certified pedophile, wop wop wop. That
Oh man.
changes the ultimate idea of the album. But if you take me back to 2021, I think it's interesting because I don't know if at the time we knew it, but I definitely think that was a kind of a Drake kind of like not the end, but the definitely the transition into him not being kind of on top on top. He might have still been number one, but it was definitely sort of like people poking at the armor, poking chinks that they weren't doing before. Like I said, looking at it now, I actually listened to a few songs like the other day from that album, and I'm like, Drake is a hit maker. Like no matter kind of what you think of him, he still got the hits. I just think that the perspective or like the persona and how people view him because of certified lovable and certified like that really has changed a lot of things, but like the music in itself I think is still kind of timeless and still really great, but I don't think you can kind of get away from that album now without having a little bit in the back of your mind like I wonder what Kendrick said.
That's fair enough. Anton, what do you? I mean, did you listen to this album? I don't know if this is your
Oh,
thing or.
definitely. Yeah. So like how Chuck was just saying, I feel like that was like almost you could say peak Drake. Like when that album dropped, a lot of people were going crazy. I remember it even leaked. Like I think like almost 2 or 3 weeks before it officially dropped, and people were going crazy. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause I was in a band at that time, and we were trying to hit songs before they dropped, and like two of the songs that we were trying to hit weren't even on the album. Like, so it was a lot of stir about that album. And like even Kendrick, like Chuck just said, had to even jab at it with the whole certified lover boy, certified pedophile. Like that album was like essential Drake. I feel like you know what I mean. So definitely was there, and it's timeless as well too. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. Mike Perry, what are your thoughts about it then? Certified Lover Boy and the album now, 4 years later.
This is actually a little funny because when that album dropped, I was actually working for Amazon, and we just got off the topic of Amazon. But so I was always listening to hella music, podcast stuff to make my day go by. But I thought the album was cool. I always I'm not the biggest Drake fan. I think Drake is cool, respectable artist. Like I think he's one of the greatest of our time for sure. But I always felt like anything Drake dropped, people gonna eat it up regardless. Like even though he's a hit maker and still makes great music, but regardless of what he drops, people gonna eat it up. But I thought the album was cool though. Like I'm looking at the track list right now. And he had a bunch of features on this album too. But like Champagne Poetry was a good intro. Drake is always strong on his intros. You had Girls Want Girls with Lil Baby. You had In the Bible with Lil Durk and Giveon. You had Love All with Jay Z. Fair Trade with Travis Scott. Way Too Sexy featuring Young Thug. Like I'm not gonna list all the features, but there's a lot of features on this album. But I thought like the album was a solid project. Like, I thought it was good.
Shout out Kawhi.
Oh yeah,
Everything's connected. Yo, no doubt. Shout out Kawhi. But yo, when I look back, Mike just went through some of the track lists. This is one of my favorite Drake albums. Like this, I think this is top 2 Drake album. Nothing Was the Same is always kind of like, that's the album that I kind of go. I know a lot of people say Take Care, and I like Take Care, but no, when I listen to Certified Lover Boy, and music is somewhat spiritual, right? I remember this is a really good time just in my life. I just bought a new whip. You know, it was all mine. Like, I've had whips before, but it wasn't in my name. Like, this whip was in my name. I'm bumping the way
Yeah.
too sexy. The shorties was feeling with the joint with Lil Baby crazy. Like I still hear that like on post. You know what I mean? Like it was a vibe. The In the Bible. I just play a
No.
lot in the Bible. Like that's a good record. Way too TSU. I remember going in Houston. Now I play that every time I'm in Houston. I got a Houston playlist. Like Drake gives those vibes. So In Too Deep as well, and Pipe Down, bro. Can I? Yo, Pipe Down was that record. So I really like this Drake album. It's I guess it's just a special place, but I think it is a top 2 Drake album for me. I go Nothing Was the Same in this one. But yeah, I mean I've always been pretty a big
Yeah, I could
Drake
agree
fan.
to
So
that for like top 2 as well, P.
yeah, it
Ah,
just feels good.
top two
I
is
will have to
high,
put
man.
like
Top two,
I will have to
top two
put
is really high.
Dark Lane demo tapes in there. That's like one of my favorite Drake joints. It might be up there like honorable mention, but yeah, for sure.
Pandemic Drake for sure. No, I
Yeah,
mean top 2 for me. I
Okay,
can't speak. I can't say this a
yeah,
top 2 Drake album
okay. No, no,
because
no.
I
I
got to
can.
throw in Take Care in
yeah.
there. You already know.
I I think Drake is he reminds me of LeBron in the sense that he has a lot going on. Like there's a lot of things to critique. So like whether good or bad, there's stuff there.
Yeah. Yeah, but I just want to reflect on that album 4 years later. Also, to Race My Mind. That's a vibe, man. Come on, Race My Mind. So, all
Yeah.
right, man. So that appreciate you boys for showing up. Before we get out of here, though, so I last night debut show gave away a signed Jordan Poole jersey. Sending that out tomorrow, by the way. The box break drops. Yes. So and Mike Curry. As you can see, he's getting his new setup together, and I got some things for my guy. Let's start off with the John Wall poster. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Fire.
That's tough. That's tough.
Got the
Nice.
John Wall for
That is
you
tough.
All Star.
Yes,
You know what I
sir.
mean? Put that on the wall. Do your thing. I got the Obi towel, $8.95 for you.
Okay.
Get you right, $8.95 towel. The most scores ever in the NHL history.
Oh, Ovi.
That's
Oh,
love,
Okay.
bro. I
yes.
appreciate
Yes,
that.
Obi. So I got that for you, Mike Curry. And last,
That's hard.
we got the Sign West Unsale for your new studio setup.
Oh, you went in the
Mike,
archives for
man.
that, boy.
Hey, bro.
Narwhal P.
Hey, that's love, bro. Hey, that's
So
love.
with the crazy gifts.
Hey, that's real love,
You
man.
gotta name your firstborn after
That's
him
real
now.
love.
Just off the strap.
Nah,
That's
for
insane.
real. That's love right there, yo.
Nah, that's definitely love. Mike's been my
Hey, that's
guy.
love
We've been
for
locked
you,
in since
bro.
like 2019, I think. But we run a fantasy team together. I needed help. I was losing too much. I said, yo, I got a lot going on since I started Andy Up Media. I was like, yo, I gotta reach out to Mike Curry. And I think we work as a great team, and he's been pulling up for my stream. Anything I got going on, Mike Curry's available. Appreciate you, brother, your new setup. So just wanted to give you those few things.
Appreciate you, man.
My guys, gentlemen, appreciate y'all pulling up. This is the second episode of the Media Market Show.
Lit.
And just talking to friends about some things that's going on in the world. So appreciate you boys for pulling up. Appreciate all the viewers out there. We on YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, X. I'll go Instagram Live tomorrow. I got to set it up. But NFL starts tomorrow. I'll be back right after the football game. So if Anton, you want to pull up, because the Eagles got to fly, right, baby?
Go Birds! You already know. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. All right, so we're going to get out of here. Appreciate everybody for watching, tuning in, and listening, and I'll see you guys soon.
All right.